Okay, let's continue with our top 12 driver press conferences. Denny Hamlin has joined us. We appreciate him coming in. He's driving the number 11 FedEx Freight Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. He's second in points, just 6 out of first. He's coming off a win at Martinsville Speedway last Sunday. And Denny, talk about how your car is going out there today in the practice and your thoughts about this weekend.
Looking forward to it. I love racing at this track, and obviously, hadn't been in a points position in the chase coming into this track before, but I just am a big fan of the racing here. I think it's some of the best racing you can possibly see. So if it wasn't for the points, I'm sure I'd have this would be probably the least stress-free weekend that I probably would ever have, but obviously we are in a situation, and we're going to try to do the best we can to get the best finish. That's all you can do.
Okay, we'll take some questions now for Denny. We'll start here with Mike Embry. Right here, raise your hand, Mike. Go over here to Mike Mulhern and then to Bruce.
Mike Embry, Speed.com. Denny, were you surprised at all to put up the 201 speeds earlier today, and is there really a difference for you guys between that and 196 or 197?
It was a little bit different, but you really couldn't. I knew it was going to be a good lap. It seemed like when we could get 2 Toyotas hooked up in the spring, our cars were really, really fast, and so we set out that practice to get the 18 behind us, me get behind the 18, and try to work and see how fast we could go. Really. How fast we could catch a pack, and obviously was able to put up a good lap. But it was basically not surprising, and for me it was it didn't feel much different than 197.
Next question, I think we're going to Mike Mulhern and then to Bruce.
Mike Mulhern, MikeMulhern.net. Why can't you guys race like a 205, 208, 209? If you're running that fast to California, why can't you run that fast here? It seems like everybody wants to say, hey, 201, that's way too fast. They'll go to a smaller plate. What's your feeling about that?
Well, the chances of you reckoning is a lot more with the slower speed than it is with the higher speed. The higher the speed, the more the cars are unstable, and it obviously will cause the cars to spread out. I don't know if that's what the fans want to see. They want kind of both. They like to see that number 200 and something, but then again, they like to see us all in a pack. So I don't think you really are not going to have both. So I think we've got a good balance right now of the two, and we could. I feel like these cars nowadays are safe enough where we could race in that range.
Let's go to Bruce, and then to Ron, and then to Ed.
Bruce Martin, SI.com. Denny, would you like to see any modification done to the testing? Maybe just open it up a little bit, or maybe have data acquisition allowed on the cars on Friday? Or do you like it as it is?
I mean, personally, I like it as it is. I think that our season is longer than any other sport, and obviously you can really get saturated with it at times because it is so long. So I think cutting back on testing would help a lot of these guys stay with their families a little bit longer, and I think that's pretty important. So for me, I like it the way it is. I think that it was a good thing when they cut back the testing. I don't think that the racing paid any price when they did it. If anything, it became more competitive. So I'd kind of like to see it stay where it's at.
Let's go Ron, Ed Hinton, and then to Jenna.
I can hear pretty good.
Having a team owner like Joe Gibbs, who's been through a lot of championship battles, do you go to him for anything to help you kind of get through some of the things that you've got to go through, and how important is it to have somebody like him behind you?
I usually go to him for money, but other than that, no, he's good. I mean, he's just really good with putting out fires. I guess you could say he's really good with sponsors, and he's probably responsible for us getting the sponsors that we have as much as our on-track performance is. So that's it's always good to have someone like that in your corner. Just his character alone, I think is a big help. He was here first thing this morning wanting to get all of our teams together and talk about our race strategy for the weekend. And so, I mean, that's an active team owner, and you know, it's all you can ask for from my standpoint.
Okay, let's go with Ed, Jenna, and then Bran.
Ed Hinton, ESPN.com. Denny, with Kevin's performance record on plate tracks so far this year, could this be his best shot at breaking out and sort of slingshotting past the other two of you and sort of taking command of this chase? And also for Sunday, are you more a subscriber to the 29's get out front and lead philosophy, or are you more of 48 lay back and be cautious for a while philosophy?
Your first question, I mean, I think it's very possible for 29 to leapfrog both of us this weekend, as well as it's an opportunity for the 48 to distance himself from me and the 29, and it's another opportunity for me to get past all of them. So it's for me, no one knows, and obviously, you know, he's got probably the most plate victories, I'm guessing, of us three. I don't have any, obviously, but I've really been competitive at this racetrack over the last, you know, 3 or 4 years, and gotten better at super speedway racing, and so I feel like my record is not. It's not a true indication of how I run on these plate tracks. So, you know, I think it's a complete wild card. Really, we could see we just don't know what's going to happen this weekend. And as far as race strategy, I think you'll see a little bit of both from myself. I think you'll see me up front for part of the day, trying to lead a lap for one, and then you'll see times where I'm in the back. So it's just gonna kind of get a feel for how the race is going, and you could even sense it in practice, the more intense moments of practice than others, and I would immediately pull back and get out of the pack because I could feel the intensity keep rising. And usually us drivers, we don't pull back the reins until something bad does happen. So I'm sure we'll continue to test those waters in the race until there is a big wreck, and then you'll see it calm down, and then you'll see it pick back up at the end.
Let's go Jenna, Bran, and then Claire.
Jenna Fryer, AP. Denny, last week, the closing laps, Kyle, it proved pretty pivotal to you, the way he raced Jimmy and took that final spot. Here at Talladega, can he and Joey help you, and do you ever get to a point where you tell him to just start wrecking people?
No, I don't. I want to win it. You know, some people might not believe it, but you really would like to beat the guy heads up. And for me, I almost don't wish, you know, of course I'd love to win the championship, and if it's because one of them gets in a wreck this weekend and I don't, and it puts us out far enough ahead where we win the championship, I'm going to hold that trophy high. I don't care how I got it. But you almost don't want anything to happen to anyone because you want to beat them straight up 10 weeks. There's no questions about it when you get down to Homestead. So for me, if we left Talladega and it was just the way it is, I'd be perfectly fine with that. So, you know, this is the only true wild card track that we have in the chase to where the driver really cannot control his own destiny. All the other ones, it's the best cars, drivers of that particular weekend. This one, it's not the case. So, yeah, I mean, I can honestly say I almost wish no bad luck on anyone. Everyone, you know, we not only the teammates, but we've got a lot of good Toyota teammates as well, and that's important for us to have the cooperation of everyone. And this is a big position for Toyota. They've been in the sport for 10 years, and you know, this is their first championship run that they've really made at it. And I think it's important for everyone to in the Toyota camp to help try to get Toyota their first championship, because they've really taken manufacturer support to another level in NASCAR.